This is beautiful. The stretch of greens. The dewdrops sparkling like diamonds on the farms. The aroma of food that fills my senses. If there is heaven, it's right here.
Honey, your food is on the table. There indeed is heaven, but in very small pieces. Beneath the serene landscape of farming and agriculture stand people who are relentlessly suffering and helplessly trying to survive in this world. The people we subconsciously ask for at least thrice a day. Those whose work is measured in acres and not in hours. Those who are oath-bound to turn the barren into greens. Those who are swinging along with the moods of nature and are tirelessly battling their own destiny to grow food for us, but are hungry themselves. Yes, people are hungry. The first members of the human food chain are hungry. For generations, people down the agri-value chain stand still and are rather sinking. The agrarians in India continue to experience the worst conditions than any of those working in other sectors of the economy, affecting their wages, housing quality, health and education. The economic hardships and the endless miseries are pushing a large number of farmers over the edge. According to the National Crime Record Bureau, with more than 60% of Indian workforce engaged in agriculture, the agony is causing a farmer suicide at every 41 minutes in India. More than 300,000 farmers, cultivators and agricultural laborers have committed suicide in India between 1995 and 2014, either by ingesting pesticides or by hanging themselves. In the quest for survival, there is a huge urban migration being witnessed across the developing countries, bringing this world at the very threshold of a major agrarian crisis. With the world population growing, with better life expectancy and the food availability constantly going down, it is being estimated that by 2050, the food stock for the entire world may come to an end. The grave question is, why? What is the reason? In the Indian context, despite having a ready domestic market of 1.2 billion people to sell their harvest to, why is the agro community still wallowing in its misery?
हमारी प्रकृति पे कोई रुकावट हम नहीं डाल सकते, नहीं हम फसल को प्रकृति से बचा सकते हैं। मॉइस्चर आ जाता है फसल के अंदर, मॉइस्चर होता है, एक नमी तो होती है उसके अंदर, और नमी के बाद हमारा क्या होता है, कीड़े लग जाते हैं, उसमें एक घुन होता है जो अंदर से ही उसको खा जाता है, नमी के उसी के अंदर पैदा हो जाता है वो अपने आप ही, बाहर से कोई नहीं आता, मौसम के उससे ही वो उसके अंदर ही हो जाता है वो, जो फसल को बर्बाद करता है टोटली। किसान अपने खुद से वो चीज़ें नहीं कर सकता, एक भंडारण की व्यवस्था खुद से नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि काफ़ी बड़े पैमाने पर खेती करने वाला किसान जो है एक छोटे से वेयर हाउस में जो अपने घर पे एक नॉर्मली होता है, तो उसमें अपनी फसल को पूरी को स्टोर नहीं कर सकता वो किसी भी तरीके से। उन्हें बड़े वेयर हाउस की ज़रूरत होती है। हाँ, अच्छे वेयर हाउस अगर जो हमें फसलों को रखने के लिए मिलें, बड़े फसल अपनी हम स्टोर कर सकते हैं, और हमें चाहे कम भाव मिले, हम अपनी फसल को टाइम पे जैसे हमारी तैयारी हम उनको रख सकते हैं, चाहे वेयर हाउस हो चाहे कोल्ड स्टोरेज है। अगर उसकी व्यवस्था हो जाए तो एक हद तक किसान के लिए सुविधाएं होंगी उससे।
Post-harvest food wastage. Average food wastage in India due to post-harvest losses is 10%. In Myanmar is 30% and is even higher in other developing countries. In India, the figure of food wastage is estimated at around 80,000 crore rupees.
आज के हिसाब से किसानों की सबसे बड़ी समस्या है टाइम पे पैसे का ना मिलना। उसकी वजह है कि जब एक किसान खेती करने जाता है, उसके पास अपने इतने सोर्सेज नहीं होते, इतना बैकअप नहीं होता कि वो उस टाइप चीज़ के लिए जो महंगी दवाइयाँ हैं, बीज है, टाइम पे खरीद सके। उसके लिए उसको गवर्नमेंट का मुंह तकना पड़ता है या किसी साहूकार का मुंह तकना पड़ता है। अगर वो साहूकार के पास जाएगा तो उसको रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इतना देना पड़ेगा कि शायद उसकी ज़मीन ही गिरवी रख लिए हो। और गवर्नमेंट का जो ऋण देने का या लोन देने की फैसिलिटी, उसके अलावा किसान को दुनिया भर के डॉक्यूमेंट्स, कहीं उसके लिए उनको अपनी कोई बिल्टअप बिल्डिंग दिखानी पड़ेगी या कोई और इनकम सोर्स दिखाना पड़ेगा, तो वो आपको लोन की हाँ करेंगे। लेकिन उसके जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट, जितनी फॉर्मेलिटीज़ हैं, एक आम किसान कभी भी पूरी नहीं कर पाता। उसके लिए धक्के ही खाता रह जाएगा और टाइम पे ना मिलने की वजह से उसकी फसल सब बर्बाद हो जाएगी।
They say, if you see an opportunity in the adversity, it must carry with it the seed of a greater benefit. Sensing the plight of the farmers and the opportunity it presented to organize the post-harvest sector, an Indian company called Sohan Lal Commodity Management Private Limited not only addressed and resolved these two catastrophic problems, but also grew into a multi-million-dollar enterprise in a span of just 8 years. SLCM Group functions across 4 core verticals: commodity warehousing, agri-financing, procurement, collateral management.
9 years ago when we started this journey, it was a tremendous task. 9.5 years when I was running my own plant, a processing unit, we saw that the service sector was totally devoid. There was no warehousing, there was no concept of scientific warehousing, there was no credit dispersal, there was no assessment of crop, how would you value a crop, how would you store a crop. All these service sectors weren't there. And as one of the users of this sector myself, I was facing a huge challenge of how to outsource this. That is when this idea came across to me. The idea of being a neutral service provider to the entire gambit of agri-services sector, right from farm to the consumption sector. And that's where Sohan Lal Commodity Management actually got born. We started with one warehouse at one location with one customer, serving only one crop. And today, I don't think I should say we stand tall. I think we still are a dwarfed company according to the sector. But today, our journey has taken us across more than 1,300 plus warehouses, handling about 450 million metric tons of crop across 400 plus commodities across India and Myanmar. I think the biggest challenge for the journey has been the perception of the people and the perception of the mind. Agriculture or agriculture warehousing was always looked upon as a infrastructure or a infrastructure heavy industry. But here we were making a difference. What were we saying? That we can manage your crop agnostic to the warehouse, the infrastructure, the location, the crop or the geographic pattern. And that's what we did. And to do this, we amalgamated the best of the practices of technology, human scientific knowledge, talent, and our domain expertise. And we developed a program called AgriReach. AgriReach, what is AgriReach? It is nothing, it's a process. It's a patent, it's a process that we've applied for patent and it has been accepted by the Indian Patent Office. It is showing as patent pending as on date. What does AgriReach exactly do? It allows you to convert your grains into binary section. It allows you to create a flow chart of how to manage your crop right from the farm to the point that it is ready for human consumption. It allows you to elongate the life of the crop, make sure that the wastage of the crop during its journey is reduced to the minimum, and preserve the value of the crop. In India, it is staggering to see that about 80,000 crores of crop gets wasted every year. At the same time, it is also staggering to see that poor farmers, poor consumers, all of us are having to bear the brunt of it. We may bear it in terms of inflation, the farmer may bear it in terms of not getting the right adequate pricing for the crops, and the entire agri-value chain and the human chain suffers. What is so paradoxical about this entire situation is that in the year 2050, as per World Economic Forum as well, the world will run out of food, forget India. And what are we going to do about it? Are we going to change the world? I don't think so. Neither is the farm area getting increased, neither is the hectare yield is getting increased, because these are long-term plans. At least the minimum we can do is to ensure that the wastage of the crop is arrested. Agri-Reach and Sonalal Commodity Management, we put that crop estimates and we get it down to only 0.5%. And that is what Agri-Reach is in one small commercial word. We bring that 9.5% wasted crop back to your plate.
Agri-Reach is a scientifically defined SOP to check the quantity and quality of the crop, agnostic to infrastructure, geography and weather patterns. Agri-Reach curbs post-harvest losses from 10% to 0.5%.
Last 2.5 years ago, we launched our own RBI regulated non-banking financial company called Kisan Dhan, and the whole idea was to provide credit where there was no credit. In these past 2.5 years, Kisan Dhan has dispersed more than 675 crores of loans across more than 1.5 lakh farmers across India.
Kisan Dhan grants loan against agri products, irrespective of the category of person, geography of location, and that also in 24 hours. Giving solutions in 24 hours, SLCM is an emergency and sustained life support for agri issues. Across the agri-value chain, SLCM holds direct connect with processors, traders, agri-exchanges, farmers, millers, other agri-intermediary, Government of India, banks and financial institutions.
Have we changed? Yes, we have changed. We have changed for the better. We become more scientific, we become more organized, we become more team-oriented. My top management itself has more than 200 years of work experience in terms of agriculture. Just the top management. I'm not talking about the warehouse manager or any other supervisor. We started with the SOPs which were governed by 2 or 3 practices. Today there are more than 100 plus processes that have to be run simultaneously to ensure that the crop is valued properly, it is measured properly and it is kept properly. Something as simple as a stack card or as diverse or complex like a GPS is all amalgamated into this process.
The group has shown remarkable performance with 322% of growth since 2013.
So Sonalal has been growing on a compounded annual growth of more than double digits year on year. We started the same model back in Myanmar, and I'm very glad to share this with you that during this 2.5 years of journey, in Myanmar we've scaled this to 27 locations, managing more than $250 million of goods in Myanmar as well. Growth has been synonymous with aggression. We are a very aggressive group. Aggressive towards our targets, aggressive towards our goals, and aggressive towards our vision. Our vision is to be a part of every geoclimatic region of the world. To be there wherever there is a crop, wherever there is a need to save that crop, and wherever there is a credit liability behind that crop. So where is Sonalal today? We are still at the cusp of our revolution. We are growing and we will continue to grow. Are we big? Yes, we are big. But looking at the environment, we are quite small. We are dwarfed. Look at the humongous wastage. Look at the humongous credit loss. Look at the humongous starvation that is happening across the world. Sonalal is just at the beginning of its story. Yes, we have been growing and we will continue to grow in the next decade. But what do we want to solve? We want to solve this problem of hunger. We want to solve this problem of farmers. We want to solve the problem of agri. We want to become the unified agri player across India and across the world. We will grow and we will keep on growing.
With the world standing at the brink of a giant food crisis, the company brings in a ray of hope to improve the life of the underprivileged, strengthening the supply chain and building the global agri-value chain far more sustainable. SLCM envisions prosperity for all. So do we. SLCM brings visible change to the entire agri community. SLCM. So let's change minds.